Right now, we're witnessing the collapse of the old system and the birthing of the new one. The process of death and birth is never easy and always painful. When something old is dying, it will try desperately to hold on to anything that might prolong its life. From an energetic perspective, the old dying system is trying to get as much energy as possible so that it can exist longer. That's why it's using pain, fear, anger, suffering, conflicts, and cruelty to emotionally trigger people so that they lose their energy and feed it back into the system. All that negativity we are witnessing in the world is designed to prolong the existence of the old system. Thus, it needs those who will keep feeding it. That's why we see the mass media provoking people to respond to every event emotionally. Instead of providing information so that we can shape our own opinions, they tell us what we need to think and feel, whose side to take, and who to judge. It is the media that tells us who our enemy is. They create an atmosphere of emotional tension, pressure, and fear. And in such an atmosphere, we have no choice but to get emotionally involved in a conflict. When this happens, our energy field weakens because we start resonating with a very low vibrational impulse that was artificially created by the old matrix. And here we have to understand that the old system has no other choice but to die. And what we're seeing right now is the agony of the old dying system. It's gonna die no matter what. But the dangerous part is that it's going to drag with it whoever resonates with it and vibrates on these lower frequencies. People who are still in resonance with the old system will experience more and more unwanted situations, dangerous and even life-threatening events. They will be pulled deeper and deeper, plunging into their own inner darkness, leading them further and further away from God. This inner state will lead them to a chain of events that will eventually force them to leave this planet. What we are witnessing right now is a collision of the old system and the new energies that Dwapara Yuga brings. The old system is resisting the influence of the new energies and tries to harvest as much energy as possible by making people angry, aggressive, scared, etc. It's doing this by using its old model of control, divide and conquer, forcing people to join one of the conflicting sides. This model is a trap that puts people in the cell of the dying matrix. Eventually, that cell will turn into a coffin that will be buried with the old system. The matrix is the energy structure of the world in a certain time period. In the time period we've been living all this time, the matrix was authoritarian. Now when the old matrix is dissolving, the new matrix is ready to replace it. The new matrix has a very different energetic structure. It is based on self-sufficiency and personal responsibility of each person. Any action will entail personal responsibility. The old matrix allowed us to rely on the government because it was the government that had responsibilities before its citizens. Now we will have to learn how to be responsible, not just for ourselves, but also for the planet. The new matrix will be based on the law of unity. We'll have to learn how to treat each other as cells of the same organism, and through this unity we'll be able to build a new system of governance and international cooperation. The old system used allies to unify countries and turn them against a common enemy. The new system will unify countries to help each other. If one country has more resources than others, it will unify with those that need its help the most. This will help the world to act as one organism. In order to fit into the new system, we'll also have to let go of our personal, selfish ambitions. Personal ambitions that are not aligned with unity consciousness are products of egoism. In the new world, personal ambitions will no longer be accepted. Whatever you do should benefit the whole system, not just you. If your lifestyle, your work, or your business are not beneficial for the system, you won't be successful. Instead of focusing on politics and TV propaganda, focus on love and compassion toward those people who are involved in war. Don't pick a side in any conflict. Start praying for innocent people from both sides instead. Light a candle every evening and pray. Visualize that this candle is filling the world with light, and your prayer is filling people's hearts with love, hope, and forgiveness. Remember that by arguing about politics or discussing opinions about wars, you are not helping anybody, but contributing your energy to the destructive forces. We have to understand and fully accept that everything that is happening in the world is regulated by the law of karma. This law is designed to support the divine justice on this planet. Each person who's involved in a war conflict, whether it's a president, soldiers, or civilians who suffer from war, is karmically obligated to such involvement. The karma of a country, as well as the individual karma of its citizens, are the causes of war. Despite all the suffering that people have to go through during a war, we have to keep in mind that that was the choice that their souls made before they were even incarnated on earth. We have to respect that choice and think about these people with compassion in our hearts. We must always remember that on a spiritual level, everything is going according to the divine plan and the law of divine justice. Yes, we can do that through a disciplined and diligent spiritual practice focused on raising our vibrations and aligning our consciousness with God. Such a practice should include daily prayer for peace, mantra chanting for overcoming negative karma, selfless service to others, sacred text studies, meditations, and practices focused on removing egoism and self-serving ambitions. Unfortunately, most people won't be able to be disciplined with their spiritual practices due to external distractions. Therefore, they will keep following their karmic path and bear the fruits of the karma of the past. As you sow, so shall you reap. Pain and suffering are not punishments, but rather the tools that will help them purify themselves so that they can come into the new incarnation without negative karmic baggage of the past. Meditation, chanting the peace mantra, and praying for them are good tools to use. But most importantly, we have to look at every soul with love and compassion, despite what they do and how they treat us and others. When I see world leaders who have to make tough and even cruel decisions against their own citizens and humanity in general, I try to focus on understanding the fact that by making those decisions, they take the negative karma of humanity, and by doing so, they purify it. There is no doubt that they will have to pay a karmic price for every bit of suffering they have caused. Perhaps not in this lifetime, but in the next one, when they will have to walk in the shoes of those people whom they made suffer in this life. The main thing we have to understand is that nobody can escape the law of divine justice, neither us nor them. Therefore, we all should refrain from judging others and focus on those good things and qualities that we can bring into this world instead. Mother Teresa once said, "I will never attend an anti-war rally, but if you have a peace rally, invite me." This is a good mental state to be in. Keep developing the ability not to get emotionally involved in the chaos the world is going through. It doesn't mean to ignore the world events or block your empathy, but rather be in a state of calm awareness, compassionate witnessing, and higher understanding. It is only in such a state can you support and calm down others and help them to tune into God.